Hey everyone, welcome back to Fantasy World of Motorsports. FWAM. Um, this
Wow.
week it's me, Billy, and our friend Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Hey, how are y'all?
Nice to
Good.
hear from you.
Doing good. Doing good.
I'm living the dream.
Always.
Another great day, a great day in the great state of Ohio.
Awesome. I am from
Yeah.
Georgia.
I honestly would probably trade you in a heartbeat.
It's nice. It's always kind of hot here.
I'm
It,
good here. It's 75 every day. So currently,
it's it's either 25, 75, or both, depending on the day.
Nice.
perfect.
Yeah, it's great. But anyway, this week we don't really have anything Coda specific, so we decided that we would talk about one of the better road course racers of the past quarter century or so, and we're going to talk about Robby Gordon. Specifically, what would have happened if Robby Gordon hadn't taken his talents to Robby Gordon Motorsports and had he stayed with RCR, and what would have happened with it. So, for anybody who doesn't know, if you don't know Robby Gordon, you're really missing out.
You really are. Yeah.
He's one of the most divisive, original, one-of-a-kind personalities that I've ever seen exist in the sport since I was born. He was never afraid, or nor did he shy away from controversy. Some of his best moments include when he did a burnout with the winner of the Montreal race when he got penalized under caution. So that was his Josh Williams moment, if you will. Instead of parking it, he just did burnouts next to the actual race winner.
Fits in perfectly with this week.
Yeah, I didn't even plan that. That's cool.
That was the plan all along.
Yeah, totally. As soon as Josh Williams parked the car, I was like, we're going to talk about Robby Gordon because he stuck it to the man. But no. We can talk about the Josh Williams thing since the penalty finally came out after we talk about Robby. But I'm going to start it real simple, and we'll just work our way through it. Robby left RCR after 2004.
Yep.
So basically, what do you guys think he would have accomplished between 2005 and, let's say, 2010? Do you think he would have been a competitor for a championship, a few race wins, nothing at all because RCR did have some slumps in there? Or where do you think he falls? Because he'd obviously be in better equipment than that 7 car ever was.
The RCR equipment is the hardest part to get around because it was inconsistent, to say the least. I don't necessarily think he wins a championship, but he contends for a few race wins.
I was thinking at least maybe 1, maybe 2 championships.
You think so?
Really?
Maybe.
Given
when the cars did have the speed, he could be right up there fighting with Jeff Gordon and Jimmy.
Yeah.
Week in and week out, I think.
So do you think he competes more with Stewart in his championship before Jimmy's reign, or do you think he goes toe-to-toe with Jimmy a few times? Since that's kind of the era we're talking about, is Stewart's second championship through Jimmy's, 5th? Yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Do you think it's earlier on before the COT where RCR had a bad year? 05 was kind of mid of the road. 06 was pretty decent. 07 outside of Harvick's 500 was middle of the road. I can't remember 2008. It was either 2008 or 2009. All 4 cars went winless. I can't remember which one it was. But I know in 2010 they were back to competing for wins at least.
That's true. Yeah. I don't know if it's like in between. I mean, I'll let Jordan answer that since it was his. But like, I find it hard to believe that you can contend with Jimmy in the chase era.
The car tomorrow in Chackin House, they had that pretty much locked down. It was when it was on the line, you're not beating Jimmy Johnson, and I don't say that because I'm a huge Jimmy Johnson guy. It's just facts. You're not going to beat that. If they really wanted it, they got it. So I had to be before 2005.
So it would be he'd be going toe to toe with Tony Stewart when Stewart was going for a second. But
yes, I believe
I could see that. Yeah, and like you said about Jimmy, we talked about it a little bit last week when we were talking about Junior in 2004 at Atlanta losing the championship because he wrecked, and we were talking about 2006 where. If Carl Edwards had won the race and Jimmy had stayed stuck a lap down, that Carl Edwards could have beat him in 2006. But
2008.
2008. Sorry, I have the memory of a goldfish.
That should have me on last week.
Yeah, last week.
I could talk Jimmy for hours.
Yeah, well, we got some what ifs coming up for Jimmy, so we'll probably have you back on for that because I'm all for it. Anytime we can get someone on here to chat with us, I love it. But the roundabout way that I was trying to get to this point was in 2004, Jimmy came really close to figuring out what him and Chad seemed to figure out for the chase.
He was robbed. Yes.
Well, I was. Yeah.
We won't talk about that.
But yeah, that's another what if. We can come back to 2004 another week. But you'll agree that Chad and Jimmy from 2004 to 2011, even though he didn't win in 11, had that figured out.
Yes.
They were hot to start the year. They cooled off in the summer and did a bunch of testing, made the chase, and then they just lit the world on fire for 10 weeks. Balls to the wall, as Noah Gragson would say, put their nuts on the dash and gave them hell.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't think there was much. I mean, obviously, I don't think Jimmy was indestructible in the playoffs. Well, not the playoffs, the chase-offs. I don't know. Whatever they were transitioning to then, because they changed the rules like 3 times to try to keep Jimmy from winning.
I'm glad somebody agrees with me on that.
They absolutely did.
Yeah, there's only
really
one sport that changes playoffs to keep somebody from winning it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, me and my dad used to joke that they were changing it to screw over Jimmy and try to give it to Dale.
Oh God,
Dale was just never good enough.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Dale. You gotta hate it for Dale though. Yeah, he had big.
No, absolutely. So I know I don't even care if we're getting on a tangent. I gotta say it. So Dale Jr. as a driver. Until like 2014, I could not stand him.
I was never really a Junior fan ever. Anyway, in my opinion, Junior fans are Chase fans made over. They're annoying.
That's what the hardcore Chase fans are. Not ones like Billy. Billy's actually a decent one.
Yeah.
But like the hardcore Chase fans are the remnants of Junior Nation. They're the absolute worst.
Yep. Yes, my brother is one of those, and I can't hold a knowledgeable or logical conversation with him.
No. But anyway, so Dale at Hendrick won on Father's Day and then didn't win again for another 2 years until it was Father's Day again. And I'm still convinced they let him have an illegal car for one of those races.
Okay. I mean,
I know that's so out of left field, but he talks about that second win at Michigan, the one that he had to break the streak that was going on since the last time he won on Father's Day at Michigan. and how they had figured something out in the rear end to where they could run askew, how the like basically change how the angle of the entire rear end to whip the field.
Yeah,
So
well, you got to give that. Who was that? Greg Ives was that the guy?
was it Ives then, or was it? I don't know if it was Ives that came up with it, or was Letarte his crew chief at the
That
time?
would have been Letarte or Addington.
Yeah, Letarte, but I think Greg.
I think Ives was the engineer.
Yeah.
Because Ives was an engineer for a good while before he got a shot as crew chief.
Yes, just like Cliff Daniels.
Right. But anyway, let's dial this back in.
Yeah, we got to get back on Robby Gordon.
Yeah, we're way out in the weeds talking about Hendrick and their illegal cars and weird. Seems like that's a reoccurring pattern.
Well, yeah, I've already said my piece on that. So I prefer to stay silent until we hear what that.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on. We've said our piece too. I'm not going to get into the power of lube or anything, but anyway, back to Robby. So Robby Gordon, in 2005, instead of going to RCR, competes for a championship versus Tony Stewart. I could see it. Jeff Burton did okay in that car, although I don't really like Jeff Burton either. So I don't really hold what he did in that car to much value. I think Robby would have been better in it, obviously.
I agree. Yeah.
So I could see it
way better.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I need to tone back. Maybe Robby only wins one. Maybe.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think he could compete in 05. I don't know if he beats Tony because it's still Tony. And it was Tony at like the height of Chevy JGR.
Yeah, that's the year he just went on a spat and won like 7 of the last 10, I think.
He was. I don't know if he won 7, but he was really good that year. That year in 11, he won 5 of the last 10. I remember that.
Yeah,
I'm sure Billy does too, as a recovering Carl Edwards fan.
Yeah, I'm still not over any of it.
I have theories on Carl Edwards.
That's another one if we can get into. Oh God. This started as Robby Gordon. Now we're just going perfect. I love it.
Sometimes it happens.
Oh, I love it so much. But anyway, so sorry. 2005, he competes with Tony. I don't think anyone really competes with Jimmy other than like Carl in 08 and I don't know, and Mark Martin sort of in 09. Although I don't think Mark really had anything for him the last 5 races of the year.
No, not really.
No.
I think, and again, this is another weed I'm getting out into. I think the reason Mark Martin won so many races in 2009 is because he finally learned how to save fuel.
Yeah.
I'm serious. Like he has his own podcast that's really good. I'd highly recommend it. But he talks about where he didn't learn how to save fuel until he was at Hendrick.
Yeah, I have a pretty cool story about that if you don't mind.
Go for it.
Yeah, I remember listening to Junior talk about because if y'all know Junior, y'all obviously know really he hates saving fuel. He hates hearing that on the radio.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was the Michigan race where he actually ran out of fuel. When he was going to win, but he ran out of fuel.
Yep.
And I think Letarte came over like under pace laps where they went green, and he was talking. The first thing I hear is, "You need to start saving fuel." And he's like, "Fuck that, man! I'm going balls to the wall." You know. Obviously, he probably should have saved the fuel.
There's a little bit.
So I just remember hearing that story about saving fuel because Junior hates it.
Yeah. I assume a lot of drivers do because you want to go fast. That's why you're a race car driver. I don't know.
I mean, at Atlanta, I don't know if you guys ever listened to radios or not, but that was the first thing that came over. I listened to Larson's radio. Very first thing, that's about the only thing Kevin Menering even said the whole race was, you got to save fuel.
Yep. Didn't really matter for him, but you know.
Oh man, Eric Almirola just needs to stop racing. Maybe Larson will have 3 wins.
He's been there.
It's true, though.
He's been there 3 times already this year. Cost Larson the race directly.
Oh, man,
but I don't know.
Larson fan, it stings even more. You know, so.
Hey, I felt your pain at Phoenix.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Atlanta, I still don't think Larson even had the car to beat Joey Logano anyway. So.
I don't think anybody had the car to beat with Joey Logano. That move he made to win the race, man.
Yeah, that was,
Like, I didn't even like Joey Logano. That was good.
It was really good, yeah.
That's the thing about Joey, though. He always finds a way to do it.
Yeah, ever since he went to Penske, he's always found a way to just figure it out. And it's just, oh my gosh.
So annoying.
Oh, it is.
I don't know. I think 2018 is probably the worst.
Probably.
Like, yeah, he won the championship. He played by the rules. He won. Cool. That was Harvick's. Man, that was Harvick's.
I agree.
Harvick or KB. KFG.
Yeah.
Either way.
But that's what you get when you get a gimmicky playoff system.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
I don't know. Of all the championships Harvick's lost and all the ways he's lost them, 2015 probably hurts the least. I'll be honest.
I think the one that probably he's going to remember forever is 2020. Like, I'm a huge Harvick hater, but you win 10 races. Any other motorsports, you're a champion.
Well, it's not. What bothers me about that, it isn't even the fact he won that many races. And I have every single race win diecast. I spent the money on the elites. I have them all.
Yeah.
So I know. But what bothers me is the round of 8, Kansas. He couldn't pass Logano with a clearly better car for 25 laps, and they just kept showing his onboard of the air pushing him back, and the air pushing him back, and the air pushing him back. And then they went to Texas and decided to race in the mist, and then he had the car to win because he'd won Texas. That would have been either 3 or 4 years in a row that he'd won the Fall Texas race.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And this is my theory, and this is a joke before I say it because you're a Larson fan. It's Kyle Larson's fault that Harvick missed the Final 4 in 2020.
Yeah,
it is. If he hadn't got suspended, Matt Kenseth wouldn't have been in that car, and Matt Kenseth wouldn't have cut the tire on Harvick's car that put him 2 laps down.
Yes, this is.
That's in no way actually serious.
There's no way that could absolutely be logical in any reason.
We're supposed to be talking about Robby Gordon.
Yeah, this is about Robby Gordon.
Y'all are never gonna have me back on. We just going.
No, it's good. I love it. I'm here for it. Shit. Does Robby Gordon do anything else?
Not really, no.
He competes for a championship in 05. I think he wins at least a handful more races, at least at the road courses and places like New Hampshire and Pocono, flat tracks where his skill set comes into play because he was really good at road courses and he was really good at flat tracks.
Yeah.
So Jeff Burton.
Shut up.
Basically.
Jeff Burton wasn't good at road courses.
That's fair, but he was extremely good at flat tracks.
Yeah, where he led every single lap in that New Hampshire race where they put plates on the cars.
Yeah.
If you guys ever want a freaking weird, like it sounds like it's terrible, but go back and watch that race sometime. Like, yes, he leads every lap, and it sounds exactly what it sounds like, but it's kind of mightily impressive how he does it.
Yeah, absolutely is.
I can agree.
I don't even like Jeff Burton. Damn it.
Does he have a fan base?
I don't know. Whoever roots for fucking Harrison, apparently.
The NBC crew.
Yeah, the NBC broadcast crew.
Yeah.
That's only a cup, though, because Junior Motorsports.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, I don't know. Harrison's better than Jeb, but I don't think either of them need top-level rides. I don't think they're good enough.
No. I had high hopes, though. I was hoping he'd be the one to bring Wood Brothers their 100th win. I don't know if they can ever achieve it.
I don't know. It's a pretty big shame that the best driver they've had since Ryan Blaney has been Matt DiBenedetto.
Yeah.
I know.
Like that sentence just hurts to say.
And look at how he ran. That's not a knock.
Well, he didn't even run that bad. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, it's a fourth Penske car. I mean, that's what it is. But I don't think it gets all the stuff the main guys do.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, this ain't a dig at Matty D. I think Matty D deserves to be in Cup over a lot of people.
At least over Harrison Burton.
Yeah, but I don't think he was given a fair shot. Because he definitely had way worse equipment. I think he probably had better equipment with the other people that are no longer in the sport.
Levine.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he had better road course cars and short track cars with Levine than he did at Wood Brothers, for sure.
Yes.
Absolutely. And Harrison Burton kind of walked into the Wood Brothers ride because it was supposed to be Cindric who got the 21.
Yep.
Yes.
And Brad left and went and bought in the RFK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was more of old Daddy Cindric saying, "Hey, I want my boy at Penske." Then, and the opportunities happened for Brad, and then he obviously
they wanted to re-sign Brad, so I don't know. I'm kind of glad that Brad went and did his own thing.
Yeah.
I'd like to see him win.
Oh man, I'm pulling so hard for that 6 car.
Same, dude. Especially once Chastain took out Harvick, which he didn't touch him, but he did everything but touch him.
Oh, that's just a racing ordeal, man. That's just moving.
But dude, come on, you got to admit, these guys know what happens when you pack the air up under the diffuser.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all heard what Denny Hamlin said about it. I think he had a pretty good idea of what he did.
Yeah, I heard what Denny said. It makes sense. And, if he hadn't also hung Bowman out to dry, I probably wouldn't even be mad at him at this point, but he's on my shit list this week, so.
Oh, he's been on my shit list the numerous times that he just runs right through Larson last year.
Yeah.
I don't think ever even got televised on TV unless you actually watch it. Like Larson 100% hates Chastain, and it is hilarious when he's racing by him on the radio.
Oh yeah. But yeah. So we're to finish the Robby Gordon discussion, which really wasn't much of a Robby Gordon discussion. It's fine. But he competes with Tony. I don't know if he actually gets it or not because Tony was above all. But then he wins another half dozen times or so before 2010.
Yeah, he eventually goes and does what Robby Gordon wants to do, but
yeah, well, I think he sticks around because he seemed to be pretty good at bringing sponsors again.
Yeah, it's true.
But anyway, so yeah, so I think he sticks around for a while. I think he still like it seems to be. I think he still ends up doing his stadium super trucks and doing his own thing. But I think his leave from the sport's a bit more graceful than what Robby Gordon Motorsports turned into, because that was just sad.
It really was.
Yeah, it's
like I hate that. I hate that because I feel like Robby is like he's another one of those old school guys. I mean, I know we say old school, but they still exist. But it's that, you know, he was a racer first and foremost, and he raced anything and everything he get behind the wheel of, and he did damn good in pretty much anything he got behind the wheel of. It still does. Doing his stadium super trucks, and that was kind of why I wanted to talk about him, because I feel like he's
forgotten about.
Yeah, he didn't get a fair shake, I don't think, which he did leave on his own. You know, he made his own decisions, but I don't think he got the best shake in NASCAR. And that's kind of why I want to talk about it, because I feel like with a better situation and the amount of funding that he was able to bring in, because he's really the one that brought Menards in. He brought Jim Beam in for a little bit. And, you know, he's done a lot of good for the sport on that front. Menards is still around.
Is it? Yeah. On track every week, almost.
Yeah, Menards. Thank you, Paul.
But anyway, we'll let's talk about Josh Williams real quick, since the penalty finally came out. He's getting suspended for COTA, which I don't know how you guys feel about it, but I feel like that's a fair penalty.
I absolutely agree with you there. I think
warranted penalty. I agree with the penalty.
Yep.
It's better than fining a man that can't afford to pay the fine, you know, but he also can't afford to not run.
Yeah. But it's not penalizing the team points, which is the thing that matters the most.
Yes.
Because team getting in the top 20 in points is the most important thing for them.
And I think they have I think Alex LeBay can do decent this weekend.
Oh, I think so too. I think if he can get a top 15, top 20, that's a good day for the team, just like it would be if Josh was in the car.
Yeah.
But I've said it multiple times at this point, but the way I break it down is, given the situation NASCAR was in when the pieces of bear bond came off of Josh's car, and the day they've already been having, because they just had that 20-plus minute caution, and they were blowing their TV window out the water anyway, and I'm sure Wayne Naughton and the rest of race control were having a really bad, no good day. I understand the reaction.
I get. I don't think parking the car was the right call.
No, I don't think. I think on any other day that doesn't happen.
No. Yeah, you go back to Chase Elliott, Roval, but
it's a different series. I mean, I get it,
and it is on a road course versus an oval. I get it, but at the same time, from what I heard was they was coming off pit road, and that's when the bear bond fell off.
Yep.
And the corner official saw it and said, we need to hold him a lap.
Yep, and they didn't hold him.
And they didn't. So that's just, so if they would have literally just held it one lap, we would have had probably 10 laps of green flag racing before somebody else wrecked.
Right.
Because I'm not going to lie, I turned the race off. I tried to watch it, but I was like, this is just a shit show, and there's no way I can make it through this.
I'm glad I waited to stage 3. The stage 3 was definitely better. I still don't like New Atlanta.
I think here, oh man, if I could be completely wrong. I think I could be wrong. I think if they put the 670 horsepower package in Atlanta, I think it'd be a really good race. And get away from the super speedway package there. That's my opinion, at least in Cup. Now, the Cup race was a good race, in my opinion.
It was.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch them run single file, but that's about 85% of Daytona and Talladega anyway. But
Yeah.
they eat up Daytona and Talladega. So, or the fans do.
For me personally, I don't know. I'm really biased, and I try to put that bias aside. But I literally have a jar of the old Atlanta asphalt in my house.
Oh, I love old Atlanta. I love it.
Like it was my favorite racetrack. So anything that doesn't come close to that on that same, in that same facility is a bastardization to me.
But I also am 2021 July Atlanta kind of sore about that race.
Yeah,
that's how much tires wear. But if you want a good race, you're going to want your tires to wear. Like the tires didn't wear.
Yeah, I feel like. Well, that's because of how hard a tire they had to bring. Because of the package, which it's whatever. But
I think in a few years' time, I think it'll be a good track. 4 or 5 years down the road, because it's already aged way too much for 1 year.
Yeah, I think if it wears out quick and they go back to a normal package, it could be pretty good.
Yeah,
I think so.
But as far as Josh goes, I believe that Race Control's reaction, given the circumstances and the day they were already having, is merited. I personally, whether it's mature or not, believe Josh's reaction to being the first person parked due to NASCAR's discretion to park the car at the start finish and walk off and give a peace sign, I believe that reaction was merited, whether or not it was correct.
I agree. Josh Williams and his sponsors got a lot of TV time.
He doubled his followers on Twitter. His sponsors all got a bunch of followers and interaction. DGM's pages all got a big boost. Everyone's really.
Yeah, no, he sold a shit ton of T-shirts already.
I bought one.
Proceeds are going to
his charity.
Founding. Yeah, he's just a good dude, man. Just tough. Just good guy. Good guy for the sport.
Yep.
But at the same time, the rule book says what it says.
Yep. That's where I land on it. So I believe that them suspending him for a race and not penalizing the team, perfect. I think that's perfect. You could have done 2 weeks if you really. I feel like 1 week sends the message, hey, we fucked up too.
I also think they realized they made a mistake by not fining him. That is a finable offense. Most times that's what NASCAR would do is just fine him. But I really like that they did not fine that team.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. He wouldn't have. Denny just would have paid it, so it's fine.
Yeah,
not like he's losing much money.
No.
Well, if he keeps winning like he is in Vegas, he can just pay everybody's fines.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can pay Hendricks too.
Yeah, right.
So
he said he won like $50K from that blackjack tournament and then tripled it and then went back another night to see if they could get their money back and they could not. Them being Vegas. So I think he's fine. And he won $50,000 on the Powerball. He's fine.
Yeah, Denny's all right. He's not hurting.
No.
He wasn't hurting before that. So
no.
But with that, I think we've touched on mostly everything that matters. Let's make our predictions for COTA this weekend, which is going to be, I hope, good. I'm so excited to see these races without stage cautions.
Oh, my goodness gracious. The only thing that bothers me is, I'm going to give a little backstory. It's going to be like 30 seconds, right?
You're good.
Obviously, I grew up a huge Jimmy Johnson fan. It was like 2001, 2002, Power of Pride, right?
Yep.
I went to my granddaddy's house. He's like, I'm going to watch the race. I was like, races are stupid. And I sat there and watched it, and I saw one car with the American flag scheme, Jimmy Johnson. So I just started following Jimmy Johnson, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, when he was going to announce his retirement, I made up my mind I'm going to be a Chase Elliott fan. But Cliff Daniels took over, and I fell in love with Cliff Daniels as a crew chief. Sounded. I mean, from the first race he called, I was like, "Holy shit, this is Chad Knaus without all the bickering." I was like, I love this guy. So when Jimmy retired, I was like, I gotta follow Chad or Cliff. I have to follow Cliff. And Cliff just went to Larson, so I went to Larson. So that's why I'm a Larson fan. To say all that to say this. Larson's a really good road course racer. However, Kevin Minnery cannot call a race to save his ass. And if
Well,
anybody
he's not on the box this weekend, is he? Oh no, he is.
yeah, he is. Yeah.
Oh,
So that's
I mean,
the only thing that bothers me, and that's one of the key reasons why my prediction is not going to be what should be. Because if you remember what Kevin Minnery did to Jimmy in 2018,
oh yeah,
2019.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. If y'all don't listen to the radio, he doesn't talk. He
No.
doesn't say a word at all.
Except for when he wants you to save gas.
That was the three words that was said the whole race was, we need to save fuel and you need to pick up your pace. He told Larson, you need to pick up your pace. You need to pick up your pace. And Larson's like, I just ran a 29 fucking flat. And then he's like, oh, your pace is good, I guess. And then it was silence. It was like Tyler Vaughn was being the crew chief.
That tracks.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, I hate Kevin Minnery. And I knew when Cliff got suspended, I was on the phone with my brother. I was like, we're gonna get freaking Kevin Minnery. Why can't we? Hendrick has got a plethora of other guys that can be the crew chief.
Hey, Bowman got Greg Eyes back. So.
Why? Yeah.
Not the best at calling a race either.
But I will say, Greg Ives did call races before stages, so
he did.
That's true. Very true.
He did. So, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna get my prediction. I'm gonna go out of the Trackhouse stable, and it's not the guy you think I'm going with. I'm gonna go with Daniel Suarez.
See, that's a good one. Because honestly, if they hadn't had stages last year, I think Suarez wins that race by a lap.
Yes,
Yeah,
I think he's really good, and obviously
he had him whooped.
That is kind of close to his home track, so the Amigos are going to be there.
Oh, for sure. So
I think it's going to be a battle between Bowman, Chastain, maybe Dinger, but them cars hasn't showed me any speed at all this year.
No, they have not. They look terrible.
Yeah. So, and maybe Bowman. And
Bowman better send Chastain straight to the gravel trap.
Yeah.
He better do it. He deserves it. So that's what I'm waiting for. Since we're doing Cup first.
I forgot you told me.
No, it's good. We're good. We're fine. It doesn't matter. This is just a whatever, dude. We're shooting the shit. We're good. Who do I want for Cup? I haven't actually made my decision on my Cup pick. I can't pick Bowman because I already picked him. I don't want to pick Dinger because I don't think he's had the speed for it. I'm going to go Larson. Screw it. Why not? I'm going to go Kyle Larson.
After he just gave you all that.
Yeah, I know.
You not to
Why not? I can't pick Bowman. I'm not picking Dinger because I don't think he has the pace to do it. I mean, yeah, I think the cars are going to be better at a road course, but I just don't see it. I could be wrong. I'm probably going to eat crow. Be like, I've ate crow all year on my damn Cup picks, but it's fine.
I mean, Dinger is one guy that can make a slow car good at a road course.
Yeah, but if you've seen Watkins Glen last year, he couldn't make it good enough.
No.
That's what I'm going off of. That's why I'm going to say that Kyle Larson mutes his Channel 1 and talks to Tyler Mono on Channel 2, and him and Tyler figure it out, and they win the race.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Larry McDaniel was talking like they already have all their notes.
Oh, for sure.
When he was a crew chief of the 3 at Talladega last year, he said before I even left the shop on Friday to go to the track, they already gave me my script, so-called, to speak. But you have to physically be like looking at what you're doing and still try to call it.
Well, Cliff's going to be in the war room. I'm sure he's going to be in Mendering's ear.
Yeah, I would hope, but
Well, that's how I'm thinking it's going to go. Is the Hendrick guys are all going to be sitting in Concord, rather, because it's not actually Charlotte. And they're all going to be sitting there literally just talking into these guys' ears and telling them what to do.
I'm hoping. I mean, so the good news for Larson, he still has Jesse Saunders, which is the engineer.
That's true.
So I mean, come on, Jesse, just kick Kevin out of the way and just
Right.
take over.
Just put him out the box.
Yeah, you go sit in the porta john, man.
Just make sure Denny isn't coming after you.
Right? Yeah. I saw a funny tweet about that. It said Brad Keselowski can't close the door on Joey Logano or Denny Hamlin.
Oh, shoot. All right, Billy. Who you got for Cup?
I mean, I have pretty much free reign out over everybody.
Yep.
Including the 3 that were in contention to win last year on the last lap.
Yep.
But I'm going to go with someone I wasn't going to go with originally.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and I think Penske continues their run. It's going to be Austin Cindric.
Bold. I like it. I
There's not many places you can take Austin Cindric currently.
Austin Cindric
on a road course.
Austin Cindric's really good on road courses. I'll give you that. So we'll let's move down to Xfinity and see who we got for the Xfinity race.
Oof.
Who you got, Jordan?
The field is just so never know. Other than Austin Hill, but I'm not going Austin Hill.
He won last week. It's got to be a Toyota this week to keep the streak alive.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Riley Herbst.
Really?
Yeah.
You think Riley Herbst finally gets it done at COTA of all places? Okay.
Of all places.
I mean, he's been the better of the Stewart-Haas cars so far this year.
Yeah, he to his credit.
Not that means anything because he's been doing this for 3 years now. He better be better than Custer.
Custer's a champion though. So
yeah, but Custer also hasn't been in a car other than once or twice in 3 years. I don't expect anything out of him until July.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Riley Herbst. We'll shock the world.
Okay. Well, that doesn't affect my pick. I'm going to go Parker Kligerman for the Xfinity race. I think Big Machine gets their second victory in Texas, and this time it's at the good Texas track. I think Parker Kligerman gets it done in the old 48 Big Machine Chevrolet.
Nice. That's not.
I'm not going to take PK. No, that's unfortunate.
Nah.
Oh goodness, who do I take? I mean, I'll take Riley's teammate. I'll take Cole. I'll take Cole Custer.
You're going straight forward. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do trucks, and I'll lead off trucks since that's the only thing I actually won last week, besides the F1 race, because Max Verstappen did in fact blow up.
I appreciate you for jinxing them too.
You're welcome. Glad I could do my part.
That was sarcastic.
No, you're good. So I mentioned that this is going to be the first time that they're racing a stage cautionless race at COTA. And I am going to buy into the hype that that's actually going to matter and that long run speed is going to be important. And out of all the guys in the truck series, there's one that has more long run experience than any of the others. So that's why I'm picking Matt DiBenedetto in the 25 truck to win the COTA race.
Interesting. Very interesting.
I'm going to buy into the hype and say that long run speed is very important, and there's no one else in the field that has as much experience on a long run, especially on road courses, as Matt DiBenedetto.
Nice. I can ride with that.
All right, Billy. Who you got for trucks? Because I don't think I picked your truck. I don't think I messed up your truck pick because I didn't tell you I was even thinking about that.
Yeah, you see, I made my truck pick because I wanted PK in the Xfinity series. I don't like you.
I had to throw a curveball out there. Oh, that's why I was kind of hoping to do trucks first because I figured I'd get it out of the way and just mess up your whole.
Yeah, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take your logic of the most experience with long runs, the person who's been doing it the most.
Yeah.
In trucks. I'm going to take Matt Crafton.
Matt Crafton?
Matt Crafton.
Okay.
Well, if y'all going to give me the low-hanging fruit, I'm going to take it. I'm going to take Alex Bowman.
Oh, yeah? You're going to take Bowman in the Spire truck?
Yes.
You think he gets redemption for last year?
100%.
You know, none of us picked Kyle Busch. Or Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Watch the Benedetto run like fucking 18th all day now.
Hey, just don't screw your cup pickup, please.
Hey, it's fine. I picked Eric Jones last week and he finished 8th, so that's what we're rolling off of.
Yeah.
So I feel like you're in pretty good hands, at least in the Cup Series. Something stupid's going to happen to Matt Benedetto, like at the Bristol Dirt Race last year, where he got stuck to that other truck.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, Matt Benedetto. If a guy could have shit luck, it's that guy.
Yeah. He's definitely had a shit hand dealt on numerous occasions.
It's like for years and years and years and just shitty.
2019 Bristol.
Oh, I felt so bad. I've never rooted for Toyota in my life, but man, God, did I want him to win.
I mean, when it's race. Toyota versus Toyota, I mean.
Yeah.
That was one I still hated Denny Hamlin, like with a passion.
Yeah.
His podcast is making me start coming over.
I started coming around on him when he started like getting on Twitter more and actually like being a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So
just like I used to hate Kyle Busch. I think
same.
Everybody, but now he drives a good old bow ties. Don't really hate him.
I really came around on him last year when he won Bristol Dirt when I was there to see it. How Briscoe just took out Reddick and Kyle just drove by and won the race. I don't know. It just kind of like I was like, man, I got to see Kyle Busch win a race. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to the Coke 600, so I'm so torn as to like who I want to like put all my eggs in a basket with, you know?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's like yes, I get to see my guy again, but I can see my other guy win a really big race. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, see, for me, we're going to Bristol Dirt, and it's really easy for me because Kevin Harvick isn't even going to compete, so I ain't got to worry about it.
Well,
Chase Elliott literally is not going to compete.
Yeah, Chase Elliott's not even in the race, so.
Yeah, I don't think Jimmy's going to show any speed at Charlotte. I could be wrong, and I'll always be confused as to why he chose to go to Legacy Motorsports. Or to what was Richard Petty or Petty GMS over Hendrick?
Yeah, I don't know that.
That one stung a little bit.
I don't know. He had that good talk with Maury Gallagher, and it really seemed to spark something. So I'm just glad to see him back at the racetrack.
Me too. An Indy car guy going stock car. No, and
he's racing this weekend too.
Yeah. I don't know if he's going to do anything this weekend.
Yeah, probably not.
No, but yeah. I had to fight like a madman the past 2 years to try to defend Jimmy. Yes, I'm going to play with you. Give me a few minutes.
But nah, I only started watching IndyCar because Jimmy went and did it.
Yeah, me too. And then like I was starting to look like this is terrible racing. They just take each other out. That's my opinion.
I mean, if you watch Nashville, man, that was a car flew through the air and then went and won the race.
Yeah, it's just, it is.
Yeah.
I can't watch IndyCar like without Jimmy there. It's just atrocious, and they think they're better than F1. You're entertaining, yes, because you have drivers literally just using each other's brakes
And ramps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be embarrassed if I was Roger.
Yeah, it's. I mean, St. Pete was not a good start. I hope Texas is better. I hope Texas is about like Texas last year, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard to watch because last year all I did was sit on the IndyCar app and sit on Jimmy's on board the entire time.
That's all I did too. I didn't even watch the race. I just
sat on his on board and watched him run like top 10. I was just so happy.
Yeah, I remember watching racing. It was a road course. Like, holy moly, Jimmy's in the top 10 on pure just racing, no pit strategy.
Yeah.
And then he spinned it. I was like, oh, here we go, Jimmy Johnson doing Jimmy things. So, but
at least he did good in the 500.
Yeah, he missed his goal by a few laps. All he wanted to do was finish the damn thing.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah, can't be mad at it. What more does he got to prove? 83 wins,
7 championships. Literally the greatest driver to, in my opinion, ever strap into a car.
Yeah, and I think he's the greatest driver ever because he's the only driver they changed the playoff format around many a times to keep the motherfucker from winning it.
And it didn't work.
Yeah, it didn't work. Not even the gimmicky one. Thank you, Carl Edwards, for that.
Yeah, right.
So, but all right.
Yeah, I think we're good. Appreciate y'all for listening. Check us out after the races this weekend. It'll probably be a later upload for the reaction because I'm going to see Fozzie Sunday, so I'm going to miss probably part of the Cup race, but it's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're good. I think that'll wrap up the recording. Appreciate you for coming on, Jordan, and shooting the shit with us for an hour.
Yeah, anytime y'all need somebody to talk, man, I'll be pretty much free. I talk NASCAR all day.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
All right, y'all have a good one.
You too.
All right.